the expectation is we need to be married. And if you know that you can't marry someone, or you don't want to be, or you're a habitual cheater,
say that.
You need to say that.
You need to keep it real.
Yeah, you need to keep it real.
Story time. We were reached out by a casting agent, and she reached out and said, hey, we'd want to cast you guys, or we want to at least do like an audition, that we would be in a house together and that we would date singles. I was nervous as hell.
She rejected the notion of comparing her relationship, but it ran through her mind.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Love you.
I love you, baby. Episode 10 too.
Episode 10. It's good. What is it?
Gnarly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday I indulged in a glass of white wine, which I never do.
Yeah.
Glass of Chardonnay.
With your oysters.
With my oysters.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
But I'm a red wine drinker.
Yeah.
But something about Chardonnay just...
This summer might be a Chardonnay type of summer.
I might be a Chardonnay type of girl. Well, what's up, y'all? We're back for episode 10.
We are back. Episode 10.
Episode 10. We did it.
Yes. 10.
Oh, my Jesus.
Oof.
It's crazy. We did it.
We did it.
But we're still continuing season 1. But, season 2 will be upcoming soon.
Yes.
But today we are going to dive in and break down the myths of the perfect relationship. We're going to talk about the origins of a perfect relationship. We're going to talk about different dynamics and really like what dynamic actually works for you or for people. I know we always stray to monogamy because that's something that we were raised and grew up on, which is going to tie us into the origins. But we'll talk about monogamy, non-monogamy, different dynamics. And we're going to go into the impacts of idolizing perfect relationships and how there can be some issues revolved around that, of trying to find like your perfect relationship. Because there is no perfect relationship, but I've been told like, oh, you and Alice have a perfect relationship. It's like, no, nobody has a perfect relationship. It's not a real thing.
No.
We'll break that down. And just about owning your relationship and... Yeah, relationships. Yeah. Does monogamy work best? I know we all can't be put in these boxes and not one relationship fits for all. So we've done some research on non-monogamy and we're like, this is, an interesting dynamic of how to move forward in a relationship. And I know that we, stem towards monogamy, but I think if there are other aspects of relationships, then let's explore.
And talk about them and see, because there, like you said, there's so many different dynamics and forms of relationships out here, and there is no perfect relationship, as you stated earlier. So we do want to just break down and strip away all of this fluff and just get into the meat and potatoes of these relationships and these different dynamics, and just have an honest conversation in regards to them.
Before we get started, we're going to play our couples unscripted card game. So I'm going to pull from the top.
Yeah, well, actually,
okay.
You're pulling from the top, but we know what this one's going to be because someone submitted a question via our Instagram, and they wanted to know your affirmations from me. So that's
okay.
That card.
Oh, that's the question. Well, I'm still going to pull it.
So shout out to Shelly. That's who said that on Instagram.
So I'm sharing 3 affirmations. So I guess you asked me. Share 3 affirmations you think your partner really loves to hear and say them while holding their hands and looking into their eyes. I will say an affirmation to you, my friend. Oh, and then maybe you'll pull the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. So, love you.
I love you too, baby.
Let's see. You're going to make a great father. That's one of the reasons why I chose you to be my partner.
You're going to. Oh, for real. You said that
You're going to make a great father.
You said that
I choose
on.
you.
That was one of the first
family-like qualities. Oh, you're good with kids? Check. But no, you're going to make a fantastic, probably one of the best fathers ever.
Word.
And I love how caring and nurturing you are with me. And you are resilient and very brave and an extremely intelligent person. One of the most intelligent people I know.
Oh, word. Oh, well,
Yes.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I love those affirmations. I think it was a little bit more than 3.
It
but
was.
I would take all of them, and I love you and I appreciate
Yeah,
you.
of course.
Your turn to pull and ask me a question.
I mean, I guess I just pulled one.
Yeah,
and
so pull it again, and I will answer this one. Whoever it says.
It says, what's your stance on taking breaks in a relationship? And I know we asked that. Those are also our Couples on the Street questions, which go check it out.
Yes.
But yes.
That was a question from Couples on the Street, and we never took a break. I think I'm going to take the answer that a lot of people said from Couples on the Street. I don't believe in taking breaks. If it's a break, then we broken. It's over with. I believe there could be moments in relationships where you may want to slow down and reassess things, but to actually take a break, I don't think so. So we never took a break. In our 8 years, we found a way to make it work, and so yeah, I don't believe in taking breaks. I believe you can slow things down to reassess the relationship, but still be in a relationship, but not actually take a break. Because if you take a break, you're single, and I don't have to get back with you. So yeah, so that's it. There's no go on taking the breaks.
So no go.
Yeah. So those are cards. Those are questions. Thank you, Shelly, for asking that. Saying she would like to hear what was Ayana 3 affirmations from me. If y'all want to hear more, please just comment, leave us a message, and we'll definitely try to bring it into the show.
Yes, we sure will. All right, so diving back into the perfect relationship, I wanted to talk about the origin because I feel like
The perfect relationship.
monogamy ties into this talk about having a perfect relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, when I think of like, what's the origin of like having a perfect relationship? For me, I was like planning my wedding at like 12 years old. Or who knows, between 12 and 15. Like I'm planning the white dress. We talk about the white picket fence. Like we're playing Barbie dolls. We're playing house.
Yeah.
I played Brad dolls. So for me, it was like I was creating this family, and then you just gravitate towards, a man and a woman, and then you're having your babies, and then you have like, you're playing house.
Picture
So
perfect life.
yeah, you picture this like, okay, well then I'm going to meet someone and we're going to get married and we're going to have like happily ever after. We don't really know the relation. Like obviously you're young, so you don't really know what a relationship entails except what you're seeing in your house. And 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to be a monogamous relationship. So you're going to gravitate towards that.
And you saw your mother and father together in a marriage, in a monogamous relationship. The pretty much outside of the picket fence, y'all had a fence. You didn't have the nice house. Y'all had a dog.
We did.
Yeah, you had that stereotypical American dream type of.
Yeah, so that's
shape.
what you want to, that's what the mind then wants to kind of strive for.
Yeah. And also, I think another origin thing, especially coming from the South, church, the religion aspect of man and a woman as per the Bible, and if you subscribe to those teachings and following those transcripts, and also the other religion from Islam and Muslim, and just all the other ones, Buddhism, yeah. So there's
Sikhism.
So many people take their idea of a perfect relationship from their religion background,
100%.
and it helps shape what they are seeking in the relationship. Does that make those relationships perfect?
No.
I don't believe so. I don't think it make them perfect. I just think they could just be the ideal type of relationship for people, but that doesn't make them the perfect relationship, because even those relationships still have some issues, I'm sure. So yeah,
Like every relationship.
every relationship does.
And, that goes with like going into the impacts of like idolizing these like perfect relationships that we might see celebrities embody. I mean, like celebrities are people, so they're having their own issues in a relationship, but it's like, wow, those are goals, or like, wow, look at them. And I think on Couples on the Street, we had someone say like, oh, well, I can compare my relationship to others. So let's play that clip.
You see other couples and you're like, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that, or it's like the bad stuff, the negative things make you kind of want to think like, oh, what is he doing, you know? But I've been through that, so I'm good. Yeah, over that. Yeah.
So yeah, that was the clip from Couples on the Street, and as you see, ideally she rejected the notion of comparing her relationship, but it ran through her mind of seeing other relationships and in the moment comparing her relationship to those ones that she may see online, and or the relationship goals that we may see these celebrity couples have, and we think that is the picture perfect relationship. They got everything I want: the happy family, the 2-car garage, the whips and all that. Like, we see it on the TV and on social media and thinking that is what it is. They have the perfect, and they don't.
Yeah.
And the media can play a major role in highlighting certain relationships as if they are the greatest relationship, when it has shown over time a lot of time these relationships aren't the ideal relationship, and we see it so many times then that they're normal relationships and they going through ups and downs, and unfortunately they may not make it. So to idolize a relationship, I think, is very detrimental to your own relationship, because it takes away from what y'all trying to build and what you want. And I'm thankful that we kind of have ours where it's like really original. It's us. It's no one else, no outside noise. Is really what our relationship, what we want. So the media portrayal, the origins of it, just the society expectation and the norms that we normally just used to seeing, it plays a part into our conception of what is the ideal or perfect relationship.
Even like, polygamy,
Yes.
and like all of those are not recognized under the law. But if that's the way that they want to, let it be, then do your thing.
I subscribe to allowing people love how they want to love and have the relationship that they want to have,
right,
that suits their life. So if someone wants to be in a relationship with them and 4 additional partners and it makes them happy, so be it. That should be them.
And just like even doing research and looking up the different forms of a relationship. So non-monogamy. So we talked a little bit about monogamy, but within non-monogamy, you're talking about polyamory, consensual non-monogamy, swinging, solo poly, open relationships. Then there's relationship anarchy. Like, there's so many different types
and levels
and
dynamics.
What I'm seeing while researching is the fact that nobody's really talking about it. It's something that, like, if it's put out in the media, it's immediately like, this is crazy, this is nuts, like, why are people doing this?
Facts. Anytime you see,
but it's like, I would love to get a perspective of it being done right. And I feel like in the media, like, we tore up, Will Smith and Jada when it came with, I think that they were in a polyamorous relationship, and then whoever.
Yes.
Nick Cannon, which is in whatever he's in, Neo. Like, it's like, these aren't really good portrayals. I think not of this dynamic of these types of other relationships. Like, who's doing it actually, like, the way that it should be done to them, really. I
think because we see that show, I saw the clip, Poly Family, where there's that, it's 2 married couples, but they date each other wives and each other husbands. So it's a closed quad. Closed quad. Yeah. So the husband dates the other man's wife, and the other man date that guy's wife, and supposedly all one big happy family. Don't know if they one big happy family. It
do seem like there's some drama, y'all. So
yeah,
we need to talk.
From the trailer, it seemed like it might be some issues, but that is something that they decided that works for them and is a relationship that they want, and it could be successful. And I'm excited to try to check it out. I know there was another show, Couple to Thruple. It was like a dating show where you would.
I never saw it, but we watched at least the trailer.
The trailers of it, where they was trying to see if they can
So basically,
get
couples came
additional.
in, and then a group of singles would come in, and then they would basically date those singles. And I think, which is story time, we were reached out by a casting agent or an associate, whomever, and they're like, "Oh, we think you guys would be great for this show." And it was like, what, 3 years ago?
Yeah, 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
3 years ago,
Yeah,
4
maybe
years
three,
ago. Yeah, 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And she reached out and said, "Hey, we'd want to cast you guys, or we want to at least do like an audition for this show." And she was telling us how the show was that we would be in a house together and that we would date singles. So I don't know if this was couples. What is it? Throuple to couples to
throuple,
throuple.
something like that. It could.
It was a Peacock show because when I was like, "Oh, is that like?" I was like, "Oh, is that Netflix?" Or "Oh, is that?" When I asked her, like, "Is that BET?"
network,
And she's
yeah.
like, "No, it's not." So I'm like, maybe that
Now
was the
looking
show
back
that
on
we
it.
would be on, but we never got on the show
Yeah.
because they didn't. We went to the second interview,
Yeah.
and then after that, I was nervous as hell.
Oh yeah, we had the Zoom interview. Yeah.
And then she was asking us all these questions.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, "Would we do this?"
Oh yeah, that was.
And I guess I was like, I don't know. I was like, this is interesting.
It was interesting. It was definitely interesting. It definitely was for. They was seeking, cause we was just married. We were just married, so
Yeah.
they were seeking either newlyweds or people that was engaged or
Yeah.
freshly in a relationship.
I haven't seen that show, but maybe it's a thing. I don't know.
I didn't see it either, but yeah, that's there shows and stuff out here where I guess it seems as if they're trying to highlight more of these different type of relationships to make them a little bit more normal. Because you think about the struggles for people who may identify being maybe a non-monogamous or and feeling more comfortable in those type of relationships, the pressure of trying to find a monogamy relationship, knowing that might not be what it's for you, you know. So you out here and you have the pressure of trying to find that one person to fit in the box, to be there everything for you, when you know in your heart of heart that maybe you are someone who identify as dating multiple people. So I'm glad that they are highlighting different ways that people can find happiness and can find love and can be in a relationship and can coexist and can build their community for them. And so, yeah, I had to check out Couples with Throuple. It did look like there might be a lot of drama, and the Poly family seemed like that was going to be some drama too.
And I think that there was there was like a black couple that was like seeking husband. Oh gosh. Seeking
I gotta go back in
husband.
this more because I do remember I saw this black lady, and she had
Two husbands.
Yes, that's the one you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay. I don't recall the name. I'm terrible with names and titles.
Seeking brother husband.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, and she had two husbands.
That's awesome. More power
That's
to her,
polygamy,
you know?
but
And hey, if it works for you, 2 thumbs up. You know.
what do you think are why do you think when people talk about relationships that are outside of monogamy, so when people are talking about like this consensual non-monogamy, like why do you think people get so upset? And like why do they talk so much trash about non-monogamous relationships? Because I see it a lot happening.
I think
on social media.
Anything that's outside of the normalcies of what we grew up, that we were taught, newness, I think people push back and reject. If you don't understand it, I think people push back and reject. I think it's unfortunate. A lot of people are closed-minded when it comes to love and how people should go about dating and their personal space of happiness. Mm-hmm. So I think that's probably the biggest issue why people may reject those other forms of relationship, because they can't identify with it, or they can't understand it. And it could be a multitude of reasons because of their upbringing. And also, at a certain point in time, you just refuse to try to see it from someone else's point of view. Mm-hmm. And I think that's very unfortunate, to be short-sighted and not being able to understand or see how someone can go about caring for people in the capacity that's good for them, and they're all happy with it, and you still want to sit on the sideline and judge. I'm like, get out of my face. That's ridiculous. So
Yeah.
I think it's just tough for people to be accepting. But hopefully, as time continue to grow, more and more people just be more accepting of just allowing people to be themselves.
Yeah, and I've seen there are communities out there if you are interested in another dynamic outside of monogamy, or you're just like, that seems interesting. There are like communities probably within your cities. I know I've researched some in Atlanta. I'm like, wow, there are these groups like poly groups and like all these different groups to where you can like have more knowledge and gain more insight as to like if that's something that's for you. And you just got to figure out like you are your own individual at the end of the day.
Period.
And I'm going to big up monogamy. Like obviously I am an advocate for monogamy. My parents are in a monogamous relationship of like 30 plus years. Don't quote me, guys. 30 something years, as well as like your parents. Yes. So I know that there is so much beauty in a monogamous relationship, but I think that it's not a perfect way, and it's not a way that can work for everybody. And like, it's just been told that way. Like we've seen like it doesn't work for everybody.
That's the biggest thing. It doesn't work for everyone. And I'm an advocate, like you said, for monogamy. I'm an advocate for non-monogamy. I'm an advocate for doing what makes you happy as long as it's legal. AKA like you ain't trying to date your cousin or your brother or sister, and no underage stuff, of course. I'm an advocate for people finding love and finding happiness and dating the way that they feel is best for them. I think we just have to have better conversations going about those new dynamics, and people need to educate themselves more, like you said, and look into it and
look up like what is polyamory.
What is polyamory?
Non-consensual monogamy that we've looked up is like an umbrella term for everything. Yeah. So then you have like swinging.
There's so many things that fall under that umbrella.
Polyamory, open relationships.
And like, it's all not just a sexual based thing.
It's not.
It's there are people. One of our favorite shows, Love on the Spectrum. For me, they show the truth of a relationship, because there are people who aren't on the spectrum per se, are in monogamous relationship, and they're unhappy. They're with someone who doesn't meet their needs. But then you watch Love on the Spectrum, they're dating someone and their needs aren't met, and they address it straight ahead. And they say straight right then and there, this is not for me. This is not serving me. The honesty that they have. And I fear, just from proof of them put and seeing the history, there's a lot of people who are in certain monogamy relationship who are living a certain type of lie and may not truly be being honest with themselves or their partner. And I don't want to advocate for a relationship when it's built off a lie. So I advocate for people living in their truths, being in relationships that is conducive to them and for their true happiness and for their true growth, and not just doing it because this is what I was taught and what society say how I should go about it. Be happy.
So I actually know someone who practices solo polyamory. And when they actually opened up to me and they said, yeah, I practice solo polyamory, I'm like, tell me more. This is so interesting.
And was this a lady or a guy?
This is a woman.
So it's a woman, okay.
Who practices solo polyamory. Yeah, she was married and then she got a divorce, and I think she was just on her journey of trying to figure out, like, you know, what's going to suit her. Like, being in a marriage that doesn't work, like you have to reestablish and reevaluate what's going to work best for you. And she said, you know, she's going on this, you know, solo polyamorous journey where she can date multiple people. They all know, you know, who they are, that they exist at least.
Okay.
And she's not like tied down to one specific person, so she doesn't have a primary partner. So she's just dating people. And I think it's a little bit different than being single, because being solo polyamorous is like you can date people who are also in the polyamorous community. And then it's like, okay, he or she knows that I'm dating other people, and it's like everybody is kind of like in an understanding,
in the know of it.
Yeah,
Unlike if it was
in the
casual
know.
dating.
Or she might date a married couple, or she might
Facts.
date somebody in a relationship. Like she's just like solely exploring. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, unlike I guess in casual dating, where like if I'm casually dating you, I'm dating you, and if I were to go on a date with someone else, you may not know about it that I'm going on a date with someone else, but because it's low stakes, it's casual dating, and I'm not talking to anyone. But she's saying she's solo, so she by herself, but she has additional partners and or dynamics that she with, and they all are understanding of everyone. Okay, and she happy currently with this setup?
I guess
She seem
so. If
happy?
it's working, yeah,
It's working for her.
yeah,
That's not. I believe it can work for people if you own it. If you own who you are, own what you want, and you own what it is you're seeking out of life, I think it can make you happy. If being tied down to one person isn't for you, be honest with yourself and don't settle, and also don't drag someone else down trying to be with one person, knowing that being one person isn't for you, because that's just not cool. Like, I don't even know the word. That's just a real fucked up situation, to be with someone knowing that you can't commit to them, or you can't give them what they need. And especially how so many people, like you stated, especially women, have this idea or concept already of marriage and dating and expectation, I think, by a certain time frame of what they want. And then dating someone for a few years, the expectation is we need to be married. And if you know that you can't marry someone, or you don't want to be, or you're a habitual cheater,
say that.
You need to say
you
that.
need to keep it real.
Yeah, you need to keep it real. And it may not be an easy conversation, but it's a conversation that need to be had. So, but I'm happy. I'm happy that your friend living their life and enjoying it and doing what's best for them. I commend them. Yeah, cheers to them.
I think you got to do what's best for you.
Facts.
And
you
look into specific things, like look into different dynamics, because there could be a dynamic that could work for you. And I know that it's like, I could imagine how difficult it would be to be in something that's a different dynamic and then be like, well, I want to be in, an open relationship, for example. I think it can be hard to contest the societal pressures of monogamy and go against the grain. And I think that can be difficult, because it's something that's like not normal and is different.
Yeah.
So then you're like, oh, what are people going to think? And like, oh, what is my family going to think? What are my friends going to think? It's like, you honestly live your life for yourself. Like, you only got your life, one life,
Yes.
and like, you got to do what's best for you. But also, like, we were talking about this before the show, is stop thinking about what society's going to think. Stop thinking, like, we live in there's so much social media going on that is like, damn, there's so many trolls, so many people who are going to talk shit. There's so many people that's going to be like, no, I don't agree with that. Because, like, don't put your freaking business out there. Do what you need to do. And then if the people who are closest to you don't support you, I mean,
so be it. Because
you got to find your own support system.
Facts. Because there's so many people who has an opinion already about things, regardless. No matter what you do, they're going to give their opinion. So you can't be right. Even if you think you're doing something as right as possible, someone can have an opinion saying you could have done it better. That's just how life works. So you're right. It's just we have to just own it ourselves. Own your relationship. Own your life. Say, this is what I want. But then, and by doing that, you find that community. You find the people who have the same thought process that you have, hold the same values that you have, and then you can be comfortable being with yourself. So if you are in a setting or surrounded around by people who aren't with the same thought process of you, then you need to adjust and then find the people who do think like you and get on the same wavelength, so you can find that happiness and you can have that. Because, or you just got to just suck it up and realize, like, hey, people going to have their opinion. This is my life anyway. damn your opinion. This is how I want to live it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I think for people who are listening, either you're listening, you're not in a relationship, you're single, or you're with somebody and you're already in monogamy, or you're not with somebody and you're listening, you're thinking about getting into different dynamics. I want to talk about the people who are already established in their dynamics and that are interested in posing a question to their partner about getting into one of these other non-monogamous relationships already in monogamy. Because I think that that's also a thing too.
Yeah.
Is like
To transition out of monogamy into,
because I know that that could be definitely another topic for us, but I think that's also something to touch on. Is like once you're already established in your monogamous relationship, how would you tackle like that coming up
I think
in a relationship?
the best way to go about it is being honest with yourself, and then being honest with your partner. And if there's something you want to do, say for instance, you should know first. You hopefully have a good understanding of your relationship.
Hopefully,
y'all in a good spot. Don't come to your lady and y'all be on Rocky and being like, "Hey, yo, I want to bring someone." Like, I don't think that's So understand where you're at in your relationship.
okay.
And I think I want to say it should just be a legit, honest conversation, stating what it is that you're seeking, stating what it is what the outcome that you want out of it, and also making sure you are considerate of your partner's feelings by putting this new thing upon their lap, and they maybe not being initially like ready for it, because I think it is a big adjustment going from maybe just being monogamy to non-monogamy. So, but yeah, just being honest with your partner and just being as truthful as possible, but outlining what it is that you're seeking, so they're not in the dark. It has to be, from my vantage point, I feel like it has to be some type of path that they can kind of see and understand what it is that you're trying to get out of it.
Do you think our relationship is perfect?
Our relationship is not perfect. And the beauty of our relationship, I've told Ayana when I first met her, I'm not trying to have the perfect relationship. And I think I've told you this often, and I think you said the same thing to me. We don't have the perfect relationship, but you're perfect for me. Because we can coexist. We can have our downs, communicate, and then get right back up. I can present things to you and feel comfortable that you won't hold over my head or reject the things. And so I love it. I think we have the picture perfect relationship.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
But I think we have a great relationship with a good foundation and a good base. And I don't think it's perfect by any means. I get on his nerves just as much as he gets on my nerves. And we have good days and bad days. We have great days. We have highs. We have lows. We have a great journey. And I don't know. It's not about being perfect. Perfection isn't the goal. It's the connection. And it's all about, for me, it's all about the connection. Like,
yes.
If you're not connecting, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
What we're doing. I'm seeing a relationship currently that I feel like is not doing a lot of connecting, but is trying to find ways in which that person can be with it. Like they're just trying to find ways. Like maybe I should stay. Like let me duke it out. Let me stay. Let me see.
Are they
It's
staying
like,
because of sex? Because usually that's the connection that people stay, and
who
that's not the
knows? Like,
connection.
My thing is, if you're friends with someone and they're not doing anything for you, and you guys are kind of bickering, they're not really adding value, are you going to be friends with them? Are you going to continue to be friends with them? Or are you going to move forward and not be friends with them anymore?
That was my caveat. My question, is it because there are a lot of people
it could be.
end up staying in a relationship way longer than they should when there's nothing else that's truly connecting y'all.
Oh yeah, except that. And if that ain't doing it either, oh Lord, get me out of here.
Look,
but it could be that could be
yeah.
the holding piece, because there's always something dangling in front of a relationship, or
and
like holding it together by a thread.
And look, we are not licensed therapist.
Again.
But I will say.
Maybe one day.
I will say, as a person who had a nice bachelor life, the sexual connection is just that. And if I didn't provide more than that, I ain't gonna provide more than that. So if someone is holding on just because that sexual connection and they haven't given any other connection, then yeah, that's just what it is. So, but outside of that, there's no perfect relationship.
No.
Like the long story short is there's no perfect relationship. There's many different forms of relationships. There's marriage. There's people who never decide to get married and decide to be common law married and just stay together for the rest of their life. There are people who consider their partner their life partner. There are people who are solo poly. There are people who are poly and have multiple dynamics. So there is no perfect relationship. The best thing about the relationship is making it work for you and your partner, and that is the beauty and the perfection. Like you said, the perfection is.
Perfection isn't the goal; it's the connection.
Perfection isn't the goal; it's the connection. Yeah.
Well, that is episode 10.
Yeah.
The myth of perfect relationships. And it is a myth. It's a myth.
Yeah, we don't have the perfect relationship. Sorry, guys.
We don't.
But it is an amazing relationship, and I love her dearly.
But yeah, we learn, we grow, and we're taking our own journey and our own steps, and just figure out what's best for you. Own your own relationship. Own what you want, and research and figure out the different dynamics for you, and
also don't look for other relationship as the ideal picture. Make your relationship the relationship goal. Make your relationship the ideal relationship.
Right.
Pour into your relationship all those great things as opposed to looking at other people's relationship and saying that's what I want. Make your relationship the thing that other people want and other people can be envious for.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, we thank you so much for watching Couples Unscripted. Niles had a lot to say.
Did I?
He did. But we love that.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys on the next episode. Just thinking, I'm like, we will definitely have a polyamorous couple or someone of consensual non-monogamy on the show. We would love to get a positive perspective of that relationship. I feel like we haven't really been seeing that in the public eye. So we are going to hopefully try to bring somebody on just to have that conversation. We thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. You know what you need to do if you like to see our content. And thank you so much. We will see you on the next episode.
Have a good one.